to my channel. This is a requested channeled reading for Cancer and Sagittarius. Okay, so I've been doing these readings. I've been called to do these readings by my guides of late, where I channel very specific connections. Most of them have been twin flame energy coming through, but very, very advanced master twin flame connections coming through, and it's specifically been guiding me towards union, premonition of union, and just predictions about that coming together again for the collective. There is a group of twin flame collectives. It's not all twin flames. It is a very specific wave, and it is it's a mastery, ascended mastery sort of energy that I'm channeling. And so what I've gotten from Spirit is that these are twin flame masters that are looping back around, coming into union as we move into the new earth, and that they are going to be the bearers, the keepers, and the holders of sacred wisdom for the twin flame collective as we move forward. And one of the viewers asked that I do a Cancer versus Sag, so that's what I'm doing today. Let's see what comes through. I'm going to look at what's happening on your spiritual journey, and then I'm going to look at what's happening in the connection. Everything in your reality is symbolic of your relationship with self. At the root of everything is your spiritual journey, and every relationship in your life, in your experience, is there to serve, to contribute to your evolution, not the other way around. Okay, so many of us look for relationships and look to relationships for our source of everything, our source of belonging, our source of love, our source of well-being. So much so that we create great imbalance, because you cannot put the tool before the source, you know? Anyway, so I'm going to look at what's happening in your energy, Sag and Cancer. If you are new and you just happen to stumble on this video, welcome. I welcome you to the space, and I am happy to have you here. I hope you enjoy the energy. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. Always good to hang out with you. You've entered a sacred space. The archangels in the north, south, east, and west have their sacred flames burning. We give thanks to my guides and keepers, your guides and keepers, for helping me to channel and bring through these messages for you, to serve you on your journey, to serve your highest good. These messages are to serve and not to hinder. If it resonates, claim it without a doubt. If it doesn't, it's not for you. Let it go. It's for somebody else. But if it triggers, that's where your work begins. Okay? Right, thank you, Spirit. Let's cut this deck. What is happening for Sagittarius at this time on their journey? The Sagittarius that is called to this reading for this specific collective. What is it that you want them to know, Spirit? Where are they energetically? Okay. So, Sag, the energy that I'm getting here is the sewer mermaid. And what Spirit is showing me is that there is a great divide around the symbolism of the mermaid. Some associate mermaids with enchantment and misleading fishermen and those who sail out on the ocean. That they have this, the siren comes to mind. that they have this call that enchants and attracts and draws essentially their prey near. And they appear as an illusion, as this beautiful woman that is in the ocean, and many sailors have come to think that she's destitute, she might be drowning or need help, and then they would jump in to save her, and that's when they would be taken. So for some, the mermaid is associated with the predator that appears to be vulnerable. And for others, the mermaid is associated with this fairy tale like beauty and this duality, this freedom to exist in the ocean and on land. And the fairy tale of the mermaid speaks to the desire to exist, and also the journey of finding love outside of one's norm, in an unfamiliar new place that she has to adapt to. So there's this duality that comes through with this energy for you, Sagittarius. And the message is that your sensuality is beautiful. This is what Spirit is saying. Sagittarius, you have experienced yourself, you have this concept and this belief that people either find you beautiful and mesmerizing, or they find you repelling, terrifying, mysterious. There's no in between. It's this extreme contrast to the one side or this extreme contrast to the other side. But regardless of how they experience you, it is always this energy. There's always this energy of unobtainability. Either they consider you to be far out over there. There's this disconnect of sorts where you're constantly finding yourself in situations and relationships trying to figure out how you can fit in, and let them know that you mean well, and let them know that you're just like everybody else. There's this separation between you and other people where you always seem to be from another world. And this is not easy for you. You've gotten used to being misunderstood, or being kept at arm's length, or you having to keep other people at arm's length. But there's this sense of this space between you and other people, this bridge between you and other people that somehow cannot be crossed. The separation, this gap between you and others, even in your relationships, that you can't seem to close. And this has led to a lot of sadness and loneliness. I can't even say it's a loneliness. That's not the feeling I'm getting. It's this, you're okay with it, you've accepted it. And it's another word, but it's very, very similar to just being isolated and alone. And what does that come with? Let's think about it. That comes with going through the motions of your life, going through your milestones, going through your ups and your downs, as we all do, your ebbs and flows alone. And your willingness to be different, and your courage, your bravery to be authentic, regardless of the cost, is what Spirit says is so beautiful, is so loved, is so appreciated, is so revered by the spirit world, by the souls, you know. It is the soul. When we deal with people, We deal with the tripod being. And there is who they are in the 3D, and there is who they are, their existence in the 5D, the 4D, 5D, and so forth. And I'm talking about those higher dimensions. The essence of all that is, of all of existence, of all of creation that exists in the higher dimensions, that is what reveres, honors, respects, appreciates, and loves you. You are the word that spirit that I'm hearing is revered, 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 and perhaps you don't experience that here on this in this 3D reality, but this is just confirmation that you are seen. Okay. All right. Spirit says I should continue with Sag on this before moving over to Cancer. Okay. What else? So this is very much what is coming up in on your journey, in your spiritual evolution at the moment, is this I'm receiving, there it is. That's the message. That's the channeled message. We see and we understand how lonely this journey has been. And that we, Spirit Source, has been your greatest friend and your greatest alliance and confidant. And that at times that has... you have allowed that to be enough, but we know and acknowledge that it has not always been. That walking in this realm, living and existing here and doing the work that you have come to do, and being willing to be, to exist, to be present, to be alive, and to be a part of this co-creative experience on this earth, has been a very lonely and solitary one. And there have been moments where it would have been nice to have the companionship, the friendship, the voice, the laughter, the touch, the embrace. And we are fully aware of the sacrifice that you have made, and of how challenging it has been for you to exist in this timeline, in this time-space reality, as the advanced being with the very, very high advanced frequency that many have found to be overwhelming. And so none of them were able to stay or to stick around for too long. And Sag, you have had to say many goodbyes. And you have done so gracefully. We have reveled at witnessing your mastery and how you have embodied who you are authentically as this ancient wise being, even as you have been in this body with its limitations, and in this 3D realm with its limitations. You have not allowed that to be the basis of your existence, and you have honored every soul that you have come into contact with. But your heart is heavy at this time, and we understand why. And soon, as you are being ushered into the new earth, you will have a profound meeting of hearts and minds. And this will be a part of the old episode or book that forms the foundation of your existence here. It will change. We just want to acknowledge that in your willingness to be so incredibly human. It has come at great cost. And as you know, Sagittarius, every subject is two subjects, and so the reward is equally great. And we are excited in anticipation of witnessing this through the next phase and the next part of your life experience. But we thank you, and we love you, and we honor you. You are profoundly revered and have been throughout the ages. Remember always who you are. Wow, what a beautiful message. Incredible, incredible. These readings are just incredible. What else? That was a call. That was a call. That was to give words to what you have been experiencing, Sagittarius. There has been the ancient, Spirit says you hear the rattle of Isis playing. Okay, Isis is the first physical symbol of the goddess, of the mother god. Okay. You've been experiencing symptoms around the ears quite intensely. Okay? And this is your confirmation that is the frequency, the communication that you've been receiving is exactly what has been translated to you here with words for your understanding. And so this is just confirmation of that. Okay. That's beautiful. I love that for you, Sagittarius. Let's move on to Cancer. Can I move on? Okay. What is happening for Cancer on their journey at this time? Cancer. Your grief is being transformed. Your grief is being transformed to a bright rainbow in your experience. You have lost loved ones. You have lost many. And you have been in the process of working towards celebrating the transition of these beings as opposed to grieving them, and you've been back and forth between those. Your relationship with these precious beings are being transitioned at this time into a higher dimension, and therefore it is being transformed to this rainbow, this divine rainbow. It is, your entire being is being transformed into this sacred divine rainbow body. Listen to your body at this time. Nourish your body. Feed it with good, high frequency foods. How do you know what that is? Listen to your guidance system, what you're being drawn towards. When you when you feel drawn to or guided towards eating something specific, instead of counting calories and thinking about whether or not it is good or bad, listen to how your essence responds to it. If it excites you and it feels like it lifts you up and it makes you feel comforted, loved, and that is it. Go with your guidance system. Be conscious when you are consuming anything. Set an intention to be present with it and to feel the vibration and the frequency of it, and listen to that prompting. So, for example, if you smell food or a drink and it's just and it excites your essence, that is calling to you, that is a yes. And then whilst you're consuming it, instead of drifting away in your mind or getting involved with whatever conversation is, that be present with it, the sensation in your mouth and how it moves through your body. Listen to what it is saying to you. Feel the communion, feel the merging, feel the nurturing and the love taking place inside of you. When you consume content, same thing. If you start browsing or watching something and it activates a uncomfortable and a negative vibration in you, a negative emotion, a feeling of anxiety, a feeling of resistance, a feeling of stress, a feeling of whatever, that does not feel uplifting, that is your guidance system saying, no, this is not what you want to consume, this is not good for you. You move on. When you feel uplifted, when you feel like your heart opens up, when you feel warm, when you feel, that is what you want to consume. Okay, conversation too, friendships. When you have a conversation with someone and we have a visceral response to what we encounter. If we listen, it is obvious. But sometimes we don't listen to it, we push through. Why? Because I'm so inquisitive about what's happening in other people's lives that I need to listen to the rest of the story. Or this is my friend, and so I need to listen to them ranting about the same problem that they've had for the past 6 years, and they never ever change their behavior, and they're not willing to do anything. They just want to offload and rant and add more momentum to it, and everything in your body is like, oh my God, are we having this conversation again? What do I do this time? Do I just listen? Do I give her advice again? Do I tell him what to do again? I can clearly see what he's doing. He doesn't hear me. Everything inside of you says no, 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 and you listen. You keep consuming instead of saying, can we stop having this conversation? I don't think it serves you, and it certainly doesn't. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel good, and I feel like we have this conversation and it makes me feel sad for you, and it makes me feel this, that, and the other. And it also makes me feel really helpless about the money or relationships or whatever the case may be. Can we take this sacred time together and uplift one another? Because I just want to pour into you with laughter and with joy, and I want to talk about the great things happening in our lives, because they are. I want to celebrate that with you in this hour that we have together. I don't want to give any more energy to this person or this thing in your life that is pulling you down and dragging you down. You can do that in your own capacity. I don't judge you, but your and my time together is sacred. Are you brave enough to do that? Or do you still care more about the relationship than you do your and their happiness? Like, I don't want this person to be upset with me. I don't want this person to be like, what if their response is, well, then I don't want to be here? Can you be okay? Do you love them unconditionally enough to be okay, to give yourself permission, and then to give them permission to say, well, then I don't want to be here. I'm not feeling heard. To be able to say, I understand. And it's okay, we don't have to do this today. I love you. And when you're ready, let me know. We get together again and we enjoy one another. But I want to be a part of your team that uplifts you. I don't want to be a part of the team that holds you in bondage. You are finding that it's you have the impulse to do exactly that, and you are wondering, is that the right thing to do? Is that the kind thing to do? Is that the loving thing to do? And Spirit is saying, yes, absolutely. That is what you're being guided to do. You have gone through many upgrades, Cancer. And you are not in that old place anymore where you can sit in the mud and function optimally. And your energy centers have been crystallized in this beautiful rainbow pattern, and you're just in that place where your frequency is so advanced that the lower vibrational stuff will leave you feeling physically ill. And so your body is communicating with you, repelling many, many things at this time. And it is normal. There is nothing wrong with you. You are in the right place. Everything is right with you. You just want to trust that. Okay? What else for Cancer? The sun is rising within you, your solar plexus. And you are giving birth to a new venture that is going to change your life. The only thing that is blocking it is this tendency to be polite and appropriate, which is exactly what I've spoken about before. That tendency, you get it, that there is what creates resistance and blockage. You are going through a process along with your team to give birth to this rising sun, to this new venture, to this new baby. It feels like a business, but it doesn't feel like it's just about money. It's everything. Satisfaction, emotional, it's your passion, it excites you, it fuels you, and it is filled with abundance and a new sense of confidence and a sense of purpose that is just incredible. So you're giving birth to the sense of purpose that is just magnificent. What many people don't realize is that when we accommodate things that our guidance system is saying, don't consume this, because we want to be kind for the sake of being kind and for the sake of being polite, which is people pleasing, for the sake of being approved of, for the sake of being invited, for the sake of being whatever. There is a deep abandonment of self that takes place, that digs deep into the heart chakra, because it is core abandonment and heartbreak. There is a vibration that reverberates throughout our body and from our body outwards that says, I am not enough. I don't have permission. I don't give myself permission to give other people the opportunity to honor, love, and respect me unconditionally. I don't trust and believe that I am enough for them to still love me and like me and want me around, and to still feel how much I value them if I don't sit at the table and consume. That my fear of abandoning others or rejecting or being rejected or being abandoned, my fear of things and of relationships falling apart is greater than my willingness to allow for myself to be loved unconditionally. And all of these relationships, these loved ones on the other side, they hold you and they are constantly guiding you towards setting yourself free from that. That feeling that you were never enough. And it's all in your head. It's all in your concept and your beliefs, and you've recreated the scenarios to support that belief. It's not valid. You have a place. You just need to step onto your stage and take that place. You just need to have the courage to do that. You grieve the losses of your relationships, and you grieve these losses so deeply. You grieve them in silence. You grieve them under the umbrella of such shame. Why? Your feelings matter more than you know. Let's take a look at what's happening in this connection between Cancer and Sagittarius. Pick up the energy of two people who really want the same thing, who want to be embraced, where they can just melt, fall into somebody's arms, take the mask off. I'm hearing, I long to fall apart in the arms of somebody who is solid, who can hold me regardless of my transitions and my changes, that I can just feel held and safe. And I've never had that. And that is for both Cancer and Sag. You both want the same thing. And Spirit says it's simple. You both have the capacity to give it to one another. You just need to shift from looking for it, looking to receive it, to giving it. That's the shift. That's the only thing that needs to shift, and everything changes. What is at the heart of this connection? What is the core energy for this connection between Sag and Cancer? Beautiful. The sun and the night. Swift, fast, acting, clear, happiness, abundance. These are two people who can be children with one another. Be vulnerable with one another. Both of you are longing for that place, where that safe place where your heart can just be broken and you can allow the sun to get in and to give it time to just heal, where you don't have to be together, where you can be with this person and not be perfect and not have everything together and not be together all the time, where you can be so completely vulnerable, yourself, raw, real, and not be afraid that the other person's going to leave. And this is a fear that both of you have. You mirror this to one another. What crosses this? The plan. Cancer has a plan for their lives and their future and how they want things to come together in relationship, and so does Sagittarius. But your plan, so what happens if two people come together and we say, right, let's start a business together, and I have a plan, and I assume that you know my plan, and you have a plan, and you assume that I know your plan, and we just assume that the plan is the same, but there are clauses in our plans that clash. And if we were to just sit down and discuss, say, today you have the floor, you share your vision and your plan, and I'm just going to listen. And I'm just going to be present with it and acknowledge it and take it in. And tomorrow I have the floor to present my plan, and you just go. We're not going to sit there thinking about, does that fit with me? What does that mean for me? I'm just open to where it comes from within you and what it means to you. And then you do the same for me when I have that space to do that. And then we process it and we come together with our plans, and we look at which clause, how do we put our vision together? Where does it match and where does it seem to clash? And are those clashes, are those clauses really so important? Can I swap my clause out for yours, because maybe it does serve me better in the long run, and can in this place you swap your clause out for mine? That's what needs to happen here. Two plans need to come together. What has been very, very evident in the past in this connection, that you guys have been working to move beyond, and that you have moved away from, emotional dissatisfaction. And this comes from recognizing that there are empty cups and looking for who can fill that cup. And if I've given you the position in my life that I deem sacred as the divine masculine or feminine for me, then I feel it is you should have the capacity to fill those cups, and you should have the desire to fill those cups, right? At the same time, I feel like these are two people who have come from backgrounds where they have had to be so independent that they are often avoidant around their emotional needs in such a way that they flip into disappointment and resentment very quickly, even though the other person didn't even know that the need was there. And so the other person didn't even have the opportunity. And both people then become so consumed by their empty cups and their needs that they cannot see the other person's, because both people forgot that, hey, I can fill these cups and I should fill these cups. So you've got two people blind to the other person's needs because they're so thirsty. You know? How do you recognize that somebody's hungry, or even have the capacity to think about whether or not somebody's hungry when you're thirsty? You're dying of thirst. And that's what happens when people are starving, emotionally. Is that they become very, very self-obsessed and self-absorbed, that they come across as selfish and inconsiderate and lacking empathy. Okay, what is moved out of this connection, out of this situation? This, I know it all. This is my opinion and I'm clear on it, and I don't agree with you. There's been a lot of clashing of the minds here in this connection in the past. A lot of direct communication, and not necessarily from a place of being full, but from a place of starving, which is with it comes out wrong. You can find the perfect words, but when the vibration is lack and starving, that's what you communicate. And that's what's been at the heart of your turmoil, this emotional unfulfillment that then translates through this harsh uncomfortable, unhealthy communication and not fighting fair. Okay, so what is it that you can expect here? Two people who have found a sense of stability within. So you both have done this work and have come a long way with this. Oh, this is what Spirit says. One of you have done a lot of process work around filling the cup, learning how to find stability within, and the other, and someone else in this connection has come to perfect and master the art of practice. And so one of you wear the hat of teacher now, and one of you wear the hat of coach. Isn't that interesting? And so this is going to be someone having the inspired idea, and the other person having the capacity to know how to implement it and to put that together. Okay, well, this is a great plan, that this is the new diet you've come up for us. I love it, and this is how I believe we achieve that, and then that person knows how to execute it. So I feel there's quite a nice dynamic here in terms of teamwork. You have to be willing to release yourself from the construct that this has to look a particular way. You have to be willing to start from scratch here and to develop the friendship again, okay, before making the connection fit into boxes. And somebody's going to have to be willing to take that first step, to opening the door, to revisit things in this new way. How is it that Sagittarius feels about my Cancerian in this reading? What is Sagittarius' feelings towards Cancer? Another one on that, on clarity. Give me another one on that. Let's clarify. Okay. So in the past, Sagittarius was very, very quick to be like, oh, okay. So you're not on board with me with this. Well, I've got someone else that I can play with, or I've got other things I could be doing, or so Sagittarius, I'm getting this energy of somebody that does not put all of their eggs in the same basket and is very emotionally unpredictable. Sagittarius can be fully present and all in one moment, and then the next minute your Sagittarius doesn't like how they're feeling in relation to something you're doing, and then they just disconnect and their focus is their presence is somewhere else. This is definitely triggered and fed into your abandonment issues, Cancer. And what's happened here is that the reason why Sag was doing this was not to make you feel like you're irrelevant to their story. This is the only way that Sag knew to love you, by giving you the space, that when they feel that you're struggling with something, or you're not fully invested, or you're not ready for something, because Sag has a tendency to quickly be able to feel inspired to something and then act on that inspiration. Recognizing that maybe you need a little bit more time, they would take a step back and involve themselves with something else, shift their focus to something else, to preserve the relationship, not to show you that I don't need you. And I think that's the message that Cancer got here. And what Sag is really feeling is such a depth of love that I want to practice patience, a patience that I'd never had before with you. And so that means that when I feel energetically that you're struggling with something, or you're getting frustrated with the process, or with what we're doing, or with where we're at, that to give you the freedom to choose whether you still want to continue with it, or whether you want to take a step back from it and revisit it later, I will then step away and busy myself with something else so that I don't keep my focus on you and put pressure on you, and I don't build contempt and resentment around the fact that you're not keeping up with my pace. What you experienced as an absence of commitment, maybe, or this is the message that I feel you got, Cancer, is I don't need you. What you experienced and perceived as that was really I love you so much, and yes, I don't need you, but I choose you, and I choose to practice a patience that I'd never ever practiced before, and I might not always get it right, and it might not look right, but this is where I start. This is how I start. I've never done this before. And I think that's an important message for you, Cancer, because I don't think you perceive this in that way. How is it that my Cancerian feels about Sagittarius? Oh my goodness, look at all of this. This is crazy. I got all these cards falling out, and I look at them, and I say to Spirit in my head, this is a lot. Should I take it? And Spirit says, yes, turn it over and see. And look at this. This is all cups. 4 cards. And they're all cups. This is such a sacred love for Sagittarius. And I don't even know if Sagittarius realizes that this is such a gift, such a blessing of absolute love for them. Cancer has the capacity to love this Sagittarius in all the ways that they deserve, with such depth. 6 of Cups. Cancer is the home that Sagittarius that sense of belonging, that sense of security, that sense of I'm home, I've arrived, that they don't find anywhere in the world, that they don't even have within themselves fully. It's such a sense of welcome and acceptance from this Cancerian. And then there's the 6 of Cups, which is the soulmate card, and it's this message of just this equal love, this reciprocal love, this love that is where's that word? That word's just left me now. Reciprocated. I think I said that right. Sometimes when I channel, I can't find the words. It's that I know you, I love you, I want to hold you up, I want to support you. And it's also the card of reconciliation, of coming back together. And then there's the Queen of Cups here, which is this energy of the Queen that is intuitive, that has her empire and has the space for you to just arrive from your adventures and just fit in automatically and so naturally. And this is so true to Cancer, because Cancer is the homemaker. Cancer is it's a house on the block that every kid goes and hangs out at, or it's the spot that the friends love to just show up at. It just feels that place you can go anytime you need a place to go, you know. And then there's the Queen of Cups. She doesn't need it. It's so true to the message that I received even about Sag, and this matches that. Cancer doesn't need anyone. She's got everything, but she just loves to love and to nurture and to be that place. And she or he knows they have the capacity to be and to do that. And Cancer knows that Sagittarius deserves that, and they absolutely want to give it to them. And then there's the Nine of Cups, which is your wish fulfillment. This is the person that knows the keys and the secrets to their own heart, and knows their wish fulfillment, and knows what is right for them, and believes that you are that, Sagittarius. Okay, outcomes here. What can we expect to happen for Sag and Cancer in the near future? Justice. Things balancing, you know, things just falling into that right place, and communicating that, having clear, fair communication. The Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles is a new, solid, stable beginning. Okay. An honest one, a just one, a balanced one. Okay, and then what else? Okay, where there's this natural tendency to go back and forth, to compare your current situation with the past situation, or currently where you are with where you were. That comparison, that tendency to constantly compare things with, that was bad, how is this anything like that? And then to merge a current situation with the past one. You basically redefine something that is fresh and new with an old story, and it doesn't serve you. That is something that you have the opportunity to work on, because you're not dissatisfied because of what is happening. You're dissatisfied because of how you are processing what is happening, and it's through that lens, that old lens. What else? Okay, we've got the Wheel of Fortune here with the Page of Cups. Rediscovering this relationship from a new emotional basis, allowing one another the space to grow, not to have it all together, but to grow and expand in the connection. The Wheel of Fortune is here, which means, you know, there's a karmic balance. Things come, this Wheel of Fortune comes into the upright, and you receive the justice that you deserve, the rewards, the well-being, and the balance. This is abundance, this is happiness, and this is success. You know, this is the perfect amount, this is the perfect dose of passion, love, emotional well-being, money, and you know, this is the and communication and clarity of mind, psychological well-being, and balance too. Okay, what can we expect for this duo in the next few weeks? And I hear siren, and that for me is confirmation that what I'm saying is, yes, the Wheel of Fortune is coming up here. Okay, so what can we expect? We can expect passionate communication. Someone's definitely going to be reaching out, making the move, taking the step, and saying, hey, this is where we are now, let's move this forward. Where there was blocked communication, that is going to clear up, and you guys are going to come up with a new plan for this, which is then going to unravel all of this undercurrent. All of the truth is going to come to light, and there's going to be a new plan, new energy for moving this forward. two strong pillars holding one another up. Both of you have this beautiful place in our world, and you hold so many up, and you are so precious, and you have contracted to hold one another up, to support one another, to be that other pillar to the temple or to the empire, you know. Beautiful. That's a lovely message. I hope you enjoyed it. And for the viewer that requested this, please comment and let me know how you experienced it. Does it resonate? I hope that this message serves you. And if you've watched all the way to the end, please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, do all those things. If you'd like to get a personal reading, perhaps you'd like to take a closer look at your situation and get personal guidance on your journey, you're welcome to contact me. My email is in the description box below. Whatever you choose to do, do what is best for you. Love and light, and I'll chat to you next time. Bye now.